All right, welcome back, everyone. And as promised, we are now going to kind of take a tour of the tabletop simulator mod for the Cerebus engine games made by Bladecom. And that tour will be led by Bladecom himself. So, Bladecom, welcome. Thanks for joining us for the Kickstarter section, and thank you for putting this on. So, you've made this mod, which is really popular for this game. I know that it's what everyone uses. Whenever I see a screenshot of the game, it's your mod. So tell us, what can we do with this that we might not know about?
Sure thing. So first off, what I would suggest is hitting the game selection button on the top right.
Top right, okay.
And here we have a menu that lets you basically pick any game I have available for tabletop. So you'll be able to essentially click on any of these and it'll automatically load up the game for you.
Okay.
So simple, basic setups. There's a few other things that we have here. So if you go to custom game setup, we have a list of different context menus here for any crazy combination that you want to have. So if you want to play like the crisis modes, if you want to play the crossover modes, if you want to have some weird mix of like the Lord of the Rings sets together, all that functionality is here.
Okay.
So I know you guys play Crisis and Crisis a lot. So if you click on the top left one, where it says DC, yep, here you'll be able to choose like your base set and your expansion set.
All right, so I did Forever Evil and Crisis 2. Or do you just like drag it over, or what do you do?
No. So you see how there's those are the add characters, so you can add characters
okay, gotcha.
from other sets. But if you click on
I see now.
Those little drop down menus, yeah. So you can select Forever Evil, for example, and do Crisis 2. If you wanted to add like characters from other sets, you just click on the ones that you want, and you can go through different ones. You can go through main deck cards, and you can also go through like the Nemesis stack as well.
It's really cool.
Yep. And whenever you're done with your selection, all you would have to do is do the setup game. And
let's do it. See what happens.
So you see it closed your menu there, and it dragged out all the necessary components onto the field.
Yeah. What are these counters at the top?
So the way I handled this is, in case I try to do the standard amount of bosses you would have. So you have usually a starter boss. In this mode here, since we're doing Crisis 2, you'll have like a last boss.
Right.
And you can, I believe it like estimates that you're supposed to have like 9 bosses in between. You can adjust those numbers. So if you want, like, to say have less, you can have less. If you want more, you can have more, up to like the limit of cards that are there.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. And doing like hitting that will set up all the cards there for us. So it'll just take a moment to like organize them as needed.
Yeah.
Since we're playing Crisis mode here as well, it has a little Crisis stack for us. So it has like again, like this is just simple setup, just to not have the headache. If you ever need like to read the rule books, they're usually listed up here. So you can kind of go through like their individual rules per their game mode. So I try to keep it like nice and organized for the players.
Yeah, definitely.
As best I can.
I mean, me and Chris have played quite a few of these games. We played through each set and crossover, and we've made it up to Forever Evil now. And I struggle with tabletop simulators sometimes. It's why I play with real-world cards most of the time. And what you've done already has streamlined so much of the setup time that goes into us doing those videos and playing these games. That I mean, I'm really grateful for it. I'm glad I know how to do it now too.
Yeah, and there's some like other functionality that is probably not as easy to like sort of understand that when you first started. I try to direct people as best I can to the notebook, which is usually at the top of your screen, and that will contain all the scripting I've done and kind of like contextualize, like you can do these things on the mod. So
okay.
It's not necessarily like the best way I can do it, but it's probably the most concise way I can do it as far as like tabletop's concerned, without like essentially going into a full tutorial mode.
I mean, I see quite a few things here though. Like number 6 here is move selected card or cards to the bottom of the main deck. 7 is gain a weakness. So there's no like clicking off the top card of the deck, maybe grabbing the whole deck on accident, stuff like that. That's really helpful.
Yeah, so and those are scripting keys that you're looking at here. So
Uh-huh.
those are by default your numpad buttons. So if you press like numpad 2, you should just gain like a victory point
I
here.
just saw it happen to you, yeah.
Yep. And pressing 5 will remove it from my bag. There's some tabletop quirks when it involves like getting cards or moving them from certain places. Like if I grab a card here and I have to select it, like essentially I create a box. So if you like drag your mouse over this card,
Yep.
and you'll see it like has a yellow highlight now.
Yep.
If you press numpad 4, it should send it to the destruction pile.
Yes, it did. And it sorts it too.
Yes. So there's things like that you have to kind of get used to. It's again, this is mostly like tabletop quirks. These are like scripted buttons I created, just to
Yeah.
kind of help and ease like the gameplay.
That definitely does. I need to like write these notes down so I have them in front of me all the time.
Yeah, what I've would recommend is you can actually like just copy the text here in the notebook
Okay.
and like Control C, like you just highlight whatever you like.
Uh-huh.
And on the bottom right, there's an edit note button. You can actually just paste those in there if you ever like wanted to have those notes to the side and always like visible for you.
Okay.
So you don't have to always like go to the notebook.
All right, so can you walk me through that one more time? So I copied the text.
Yep. So on the bottom right of your screen,
There's a little notes section, yeah.
Yeah, and you can just paste them right in there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And they'll show up for all players as well. So I believe
Chris, you should be able to see
yeah.
it. Chris, do you have that on the right side of your screen?
Yes, that's perfect. I like it.
That's exactly what I needed, because that solves a lot of problems. Like whenever we have a card, like add something to the bottom of the main deck, it's like hold the main deck, but hold it long enough that you don't just have the top card and drag it away and put this card down, and you've solved that. That's awesome.
I mean, I think the scripting keys are probably one of the most helpful things I've made. I mean, just a quick game setup. I would probably say some other functionalities, just like being able to refill the lineup. That's
I use that.
A really nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
I made these actual buttons just to make it easier for people. You can just add one for like crisis mode or like certain card effects. I know one thing you guys probably seem to be struggling with before was the play area. I don't believe you guys used it before in the videos I've seen. And I think it's probably one of the best tools I have. So if you want to go ahead and click options on the top of your screen.
Yep.
There should be something that says turns.
Yes, there is.
And go ahead and click enable turns, or the little checkbox at the top, I believe.
No, oh, turns. Yep.
So you get a little play area.
Okay.
And what's great about this is if we say drag these cards here, go ahead and click the end turn button at the top.
Oh, that's beautiful. And the play area moves to the next player.
Yep. And if you press 3 on your numpad, it'll actually shuffle all these cards here for you as well and create a brand new deck.
So I have to select all of them first, and then...
No, you don't even have to do that for this particular script. Yeah, you can just press numpad 3 and it'll do it.
Oh, no, I'm pressing 3 at the top of my keyboard. That's why. There we go.
Yeah.
That, and then it shuffled it. That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say those are probably the main like playable features for the mod. A lot of the other stuff I have is more like custom game setup or like particular options. I can't tell you how many of the other Cryptozoic games have like very special particular rules that they need to follow. So I have to make sure that, like, say if you play The Hobbit, for example, that the cards under your character get scored. Otherwise,
yeah,
and it's only for that particular game mode, so I have to like keep that into account. And I guess that's actually the last thing to show you is that I can think of off the top of my head is that if you take this kick stack here, you put it into the score pile.
Yep.
And you hit check score, it'll just automatically calculate like who the winner is between the players. So, excuse me.
Yeah, we've definitely done that, and that's a huge help at the end of our game. It's a fun thing for us, like, to both put our cards there, and then we just hit check scores instead of like us counting our cards and just trying to like keep it a secret till the other person's done. I know the first time we played, like, wait, does this actually work? And we actually pulled all the cards off and count them up ourselves. Like, yeah, it worked. It was amazing. So
Yeah,
thank you.
it'll work for like a VP in your bag as well. Like
Okay.
I actually rewrote this script not too long ago, so I believe every card, all of the Cryptozoic games work now, except for one card, which is the High Father from Crossover 7. He just needs some special um, things to be adjusted to like make him properly work. He just
Yeah, it's like if your location is destroyed, right? Like if your home world gets destroyed, he's worth XVP or something like
right.
that.
Yeah, he determines like what based on like what your character is, and I haven't actually recorded like what your characters are yet.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just a special case card.
That's super cool.
Yeah, and I would say like again, this is like 6 years worth of work that you're seeing here. So not all like tabletop mods are going to look like this. They're probably not going to have any scripting or like features or whichever. All these cards here, I scanned myself and like
Wow.
put in Photoshop and made playable as best I can. And I will have to emphasize this strongly. This is not a replacement for the physical game.
Mm-hmm.
Please support Cryptozoic. This is, this is just a project for people who can't like essentially play with people in real life or like your friends or whichever way. But if you really like these games, definitely go out and buy them. If you want to just like try the game, like maybe you're not sure if you really want Crossover 7, for example, this might be a way to like play it beforehand. So
You should want Crossover 7. It's a really fun one. It's a cool like combination of the confrontations and standard mode. I do want to say that I have a lot of respect for the amount of effort you put into this and what you've gotten out of it. I gotta say that it's really impressive, and you should be proud of what you've done here. This is really cool. I also want to reiterate that people should buy the game. I know I play when I do my videos. I play with physical cards because I have them and I prefer playing with physical cards. But this is a huge draw to really simplify to get a quicker game in order to get a quick cleanup in to play with Chris. It's the only way that he and I can play. I mean, he's on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast. It's already hard enough it's a hard enough struggle to schedule it sometimes, but then have to figure out how to do it with like a webcam and make sure you have the same deck and stuff going. This is a huge jump on that, and yeah, we're really grateful for that, Bladecom. Thank you.
sure, no problem. And I believe the only reason like Cryptozoic hasn't done this themselves is they don't have the digital rights for their cards or
That's
for their
correct.
games.
Yep.
So like if that ever becomes the case and this is no longer needed, like it'll probably be the end of that. But for the time being, this is what I have, and I will continue to probably update this until the foreseeable future, until like something is like majorly changes.
I mean, I've seen Cryptozoic do videos playing on your mod. So like they know it exists. And they obviously don't have a huge problem with it, but I know that they don't have the rights to it personally within their department. So yeah, within their company, I should say. That's really cool. I see up here you have the other games as well, the non-DC ones, all available, and there's a few of them that are Patreon exclusives. You want to tell us about those or about your Patreon?
Yeah, so the Patreon is something I started doing relatively recently. It's I would say like the start of this year, and it's essentially just to help maintain the server and maintain like continue of this mod, just because I've been doing this for 6 years. It's hard to keep your passion over something for that long of a time.
Of course.
So it's just there to help support that. Maybe be able to purchase new games such as the new Kickstarter that came out. Right now, the way I'm sort of handling it is any new releases, such as the Epic Spell War series and such like that I've recently finished. I'm just going to have exclusives on Patreon for the time being before I release it publicly. Other than that, people will have the ability to vote in polls, request features, and things like that for the mod. And I think the other major thing I have is just beta releases. So usually I'll have like unstable builds or like builds that I'm testing out features. And I won't have those publicly ready, but with Patreon, I can just give that to whoever is interested in it. They can test it out, give me feedback, things like that.
Cool. I'm curious, what kind of ideas have you gotten, kind of feature requests that you are either working on or exploring the options for?
So right now I have two in the works. One I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to implement, which is an AFK preventer. So if someone is away from their game or they're like looking away from their screen, they'll be able to easily determine if it's their turn or if they need to take an action.
Okay.
Which is just kind of a brainstorming thing I have to figure out. The other thing, which I do have a game plan for, is to essentially rework the boss scripts. Currently, the script that like shuffles and organizes the nemesis is kind of old. It's one of the first things I've ever made. So right now, it just basically grabs the bosses that is assigned and puts them in order, like order by cost, instead of like really
Mm,
doing a randomizing thing. So it's not like the best way for like certain game modes, like competitive. I believe like Crisis needs random. I believe the DC regular set needs random.
yeah,
And
but there's like Forever Evil. They actually, I think, ask that you do it in cost order as well as a few crossover packs.
yeah, so right now I just when I initially started it, I just did by cost, but
Hmm.
that's no longer like really suitable for the needs of like the other game modes. So I need to like adjust that,
Gotcha.
and that's actually something I'm planning on doing here next like probably month or so. So that's my next big project that I'm aware of, as well as like adding a new game onto this mod, which is going to be the Ruby deck builder game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about that. It was like it kind of like fell apart, right? Then I believe they licensed the Cerebus engine from Cryptozoic or something like that. Is that
Yeah, it has a really weird history. There is a company called 80s Arcade that is defunct now. They purchased the service engine, the license for it, to make two digital games, one called Shards and one for Ruby, the franchise. And the Ruby community is actually like surprisingly still strong and has kept a lot of the card images and things like that that are essentially lost media at this point.
yeah,
So I'm going to be able to have that playable on tabletop in the near future.
that's very cool. It's a really cool project. Chris, I believe you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, I just want to re-emphasize to everyone to support the mod, support Bladecom through his Patreon, support Mr. Bear as well. When the pandemic first started, I learned about this game from Mr. Bear's streams. So I basically learned the game from him, and I was only able to play with him first time playing the DC deck building game with anyone because of this mod. So you guys basically saved me during the pandemic from going crazy with boredom. So a big thank you to both of you, everything you do for the community, and yeah, just everyone support them, like and subscribe to this video, share the mod around, supporting the Patreon, all that good stuff.
Thanks, Chris. That's really nice to hear. It really is every time.
Yeah,
That's what you pay me for, man.
Oh, please. uh,
thank you for the kind words. I will say that like I've met a lot of wonderful people just by doing this project, and
yeah,
there's a very large community of just people that play these games, and they're all like it's just because the Cryptozoic has released such a broad range of like products. You get a broad range of just like people that play them. Like you guys in particular, from what I can tell, like namely like the crisis mode and the
right.
solo experience, and like that's something I've recently discovered because I knew there's a community for it, but I didn't know like how large or like how big it was. I actually had statistics on like who was playing like what, and I always saw like Crisis like had a decent chunk of people playing. So it's interesting like to find these groups and like find out like what people are really interested in.
Yeah, I've had a few members of the Solo Crisis League. And they're asking like, "Hey, how do I set this up in the tabletop mod?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't use it that much. But I will definitely. I know more now for sure, and I'll definitely point them in your direction too. And when they have those questions in the future, it's been enlightening here.
Yeah, so the mod keeps track of like statistics too.
Yeah, yeah. Tell
Uh,
us about that.
sure. Well, we used to have a website called dcdeckbuilding.com. and I had integration with it. So if you clicked on like say DC base set and Crisis One, I would get that statistic that's saying like someone clicked on that to play, just
Okay.
so I could have like a record of it. That way, I could actually like focus on like what is like the most played and like make sure that version of the game or version of the play area was like maintained and just I wanted to make the most people happy as best I could.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and like some games just don't get a lot of playtime, like the Rick and Morty games, for example. Like there's very few people that actually play those on the tabletop. But I still support them as best I can. But DC by far takes the leaps and bounds more than anything else. It's just kind of interesting to see like what people are playing.
I would love to hear about those statistics sometimes. I want to know how many people are playing the Arrow Pack. That is my.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the site is currently down, and
Okay.
the person was hosting it is hard to get in touch with. So at some point, I can probably get the statistics back, and I can show you guys like what I had. But I do need to create a new server to like get the statistics again or like start fresh.
Gotcha. It is super interesting. That stuff is always very interesting to me. I'm curious, how did you go about creating the background in here? Did you just like pick some of your favorite issues? Was there just some other larger section? I see it's all like Blackest Night ones in the further distance. You've got the Trinity image as like the main playmat area and some other comics surrounding it. Did you get to like personally pick, or how'd you build it?
Sure. So the background itself, the Blackest Night thing, I actually found that someone created this collage of them, and it was just like hosted like as a wallpaper or image. So that kind of like got me started in like the idea of like making some more customized images for the game. Initially, like this big blue table that you see here with the what is this, the Year of the Villains, I believe this whole set.
Okay.
Like this came about just because like I wanted to have like a larger play area for people to like set aside cards or like do whatever they wanted to.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't particularly choose the Year of the Villain. This was just kind of like what was currently out at the time, something new.
Mm-hmm.
And people really like the Batman Who Laughs. He was a good centerpiece for this. And
yeah.
It's just stuff like that. Like like you mentioned the comic book for what for the play area. I actually didn't know what this was from.
Yeah, it's like coming from Trinity. It's or the Trinity War, which was the precursor to Forever Evil.
I just thought it looked nice and like was fitting. I know if you go to game selection and select Rebirth, you'll get like the different table for that. And I used something else for that in a different play area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's some things like that I just kind of like. It's more arbitrary and just picked at random.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest, I don't have like I have the Photoshop skills, but I don't necessarily like have a design in mind. I just kind of do what's needed at the time.
That's cool. I mean, I think you did a good job. I think it's really good representation of the game, and it feels good playing in this area. So you did well, Bladecom. You did well.
Thank you. And I guess other than that, do you have any particular questions or anything else you guys want me to go over with the table? Because I think you saw the main features of it. There's some smaller things like being able to spawn characters from all the sets, but there's not really much else to go over besides just simple like quality of life things that you might just discover on your own.
Okay. I mean, my thought process is we're going to play a game of Forever Evil today, so maybe we can ask questions like that as they come up, unless you have something right now, Chris.
Nope. You guys pretty much went over everything.
Yeah, you've given me so much more in this mod than I knew existed today, that anything else that comes is going to be just even more amazing, I'm sure. So I say if you guys are up to it, I say should we just clean up, set up Forever Evil and get started?
Sounds good to me.
All right, I think I can just actually go back in time on this, can I? Yeah.
You can actually just do game selection, which would probably be easier.
Okay. So if I go to, again, it was games. No, not games. I'm sorry.
Game selections, which is the top right.
Oh, yeah, it's your button. That's right. We're just going to do a basic game of Forever Evil, so we don't even have to go to that custom game section. So we can just select that, and it resets everything. So everything that was out here is gone now.
Right. There is an option to disable that as well.
Okay.
I was actually looking at the option menu. It's and you'll see like a couple. Game selection and options.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you see like you can disable like the automatic or the what's it called? Remove objects with new game. You can turn that off.
Oh, I see. Yeah, gotcha.
So there's things like that. And if you want to like say spawn all the Lord of the Rings characters, you can click on the bottom right to like do stuff like that. There's a few other things.
Well, I gotta say this is even better because Chris and I sometimes do 2 videos back to back, and the idea that we've like shut down the game and relaunched it basically to make it happen, and this is gonna help a ton. All right, so we'll set up the turn thing before we get started. So tell me again. So set up the boss deck. So we want to do. These should just be in numerical order, like for every evil demands, right?
Yeah, correct.
So I can just hit set up boss deck and we should be good?
That is correct.
Awesome. Where? It's okay, gotcha. It's still working on it.
Yeah, it takes a second to like read all the cards.
All right, and we have to figure out our characters. So do you have like usually what I do is I just deal each person 3 characters and they pick one. Do you have anything like that built into it, or should I just go ahead and do it?
Nope, that's fine. I actually don't have anything built in for that because everyone does something different.
Yeah, of course. And I'd love to hear. And what we usually do, Bladecom, because I know you haven't done this with us before, is we kind of like share what characters we got and kind of go through.
I got my character right here.
I'm so glad.
What are you talking about?
Kid Flash is here to conquer. You're right. All right, Chris. Just in case, why don't we look at your other characters, just in case Kid Flash may not be the one you want.
All right, let's see what we got. We got Black Manta. May put any card you buy or gain from the lineup on the bottom of your deck. That's pretty good. Black Adam, Dwayne The Rock Johnson himself. The first time you play Superpower during each of your turns, you may destroy it. If you do, draw a card and gain 1 VP. And Deathstroke +1 power for each card you destroy during your turn. Huh. I'm not actually gonna play as Kid Flash.
All right.
I'm actually.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Oh.
Each time play a superhero during your turn, you may destroy it. Oh god, this is hard.
I'll remind you that kicks are superpowers.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Black Adam.
Right. I think you had a few good choices there, so I don't think you're really gonna go that wrong.
Yeah.
All right, Bladecom, what do you got for us?
All right, let's see. First, I got Bizarro.
Oof.
Sinestro. And the Joker.
You got the 2 interesting ones for sure, with Bizarro and Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I'm not personally a fan of Joker.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm probably going to skip out on him. And the choices here are actually a bit harder. Sinestro's very good. But I think there's only like 10 or so attacks. And
yeah, there's not that many. A lot of destruction, not a lot of attacks.
So I think I might just go with Bizarro.
All right,
cool. He's the most interesting of this bunch.
What's his ability again?
So whenever you destroy a card, you gain a weakness. And during my turn, I'm able to trade in the 2 weaknesses from my discard pile and put them back to the weakness stack. And if I do, I draw a card.
That's so cool. I really do enjoy that one. All right, let's see what I got here. And well, it's the remaining 3 because we are going to see all 9 of the Forever Evil characters here. First up, Harley Quinn. During each player's turn, the first time you pass a card or discard a card, draw a card. So it's kind of like, it's not a defense from an attack, but it's a way to counteract it. Lex Luthor, at the end of your turn, draw an extra card for each hero you bought or gained during your turn. Now that could be really powerful. And finally, Bane. If the first card you played during each of your turns has cost 1 or greater, you may destroy it. If you do, +2 power. Now I don't play multiplayer a lot, so Harley Quinn's kind of like speaking to me because she does have like that during each player's turn. So like I'd actually get to use it this turn, for example. But the other 2 are so good. Lex Luthor with his extra cards and leaning into heroes, and Bane with his destruction getting extra power.
think they're all good choices.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn can be a little bit degenerate because she's during each player's turn.
Right.
But there's like arguments for all of these characters.
There really is.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna go with
Or
Oh,
you
go
could
on.
go
Oh, is Kid
or
Flash
you
still in
could-
here? All
Or
right.
you could. No, I'm
Let's-
just kidding.
Oh,
Get him
man.
out of here.
Oh, don't tease me. All right, I'm gonna go with Luthor. My wife always beats me with Wonder Woman, and he's got a similar ability to Wonder Woman, the Forever Evil version of it. So that's who I'm gonna go with. Oh, that I didn't mean to throw that.
Careful.
Get these cards out of here.
I didn't know I could even do that. All right. So now that we've got this all set up, and we now know that we can use this play area. Let me just figure that out. So we go to options, turns.
So they're already on. It's just determining who needs to go first.
Okay, yeah. How do we do that?
So there's a couple ways. You can always click the button at the very top here, which is kind of far away. There's also a chat command.
Oh, I see it.
To do it as well.
All right, yeah. Let's just do random starting player, and that's quick and easy. I'm curious. Does check scores? Does that actually like drag all your cards up here?
It does not.
Okay.
I purposely made it not that way because I actually like dragging the cards over at the end.
That's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, random starting player, and it looks like it's gonna be. Well, it's still you, Bladecom. It's all you, unless it's still doing something.
He
Nope.
scripted it that way.
I know. I feel like some kind of host mod here. I don't know.
I get accused of that all the time. Trust me. So we'll just hit the refill button here.
Oh
See
yeah,
what we
yeah.
got.
See what we got.
And let's
Lots
see.
of forever evil goodness.
So yeah, we should have our starting boss.
Oh,
which is the
yeah.
Flash. So I have 4 power, and I think I'm gonna get super intellect for that early game destruction.
Makes sense. Ooh, a little ringtone here when my play area is ready. That's nice. All right. Let's get my. I'm gonna test out these scripts. So shuffle my discard pile into an empty deck zone. That's 3.
Mhm.
Shuffle it, and I'll draw my 5 cards. All right. Well, I also have a 4 turn. I'm curious. It looked like you had a way of just grabbing all 5 at once and put them in your play area. How'd you do that?
So I just created a box. Like I just dragged my mouse to create a box like that.
Oh, okay,
And then
gotcha.
then I'll select all the cards.
So you just have to go down to. Yeah, I see. I gotcha. So I have 4 power. I don't have the luxury of the destruction option early. Maybe I want to get defense because that defense card allows me to destroy some cards. And I could also get Venom Injector for a future destruction, but it's going to take some space in my deck until then. So, I think I'll just get a kick for high power. And then from here, so I'm just doing it right. I put it in my play area and send cards. No, it's
Should be at the very top. There is a end turn button.
right. I was wondering if there was something for no. Oh, okay, I see it automatically did it after I hit end turn. I get it
Yeah.
now.
I believe you can also right click cards to, like, if you want to buy something, you can do right click to buy card.
Look at that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's elegant.
If you have your VP bag, you can right click that for some extra functions as well.
I got 5 power.
So if you don't have like a
This-
numpad, if you don't have a numpad, you can use
Okay.
that.
That's cool. Good to know. So you got that high power hand with the sacrificing your next turn, basically.
Yep. I will grab. I'm gonna grab invulnerability. And I never use it, but I'm gonna get cold gun this time just to.
It may
See
be
how that
useful, and like in solo, it's pretty much useless. But
no.
what was that?
End of my turn.
Looks like you got an error. I saw an error pop up on your screen, so I wonder if the fizz cast, which is the physical cast it does on this like play area, I wonder if like something like bumped it. I'm gonna go.
Dude.
I got 3 power. Go ahead and buy a kick, and I'll just end my turn there.
Perfect. All right, get my 5 cards. Or should have already done that, but I didn't. I'm looking at 3 power as well. And available to me. I mean, Vibe helps because he's a hero, which goes into Lex Luthor, allowing me to get 6 cards on the next turn. 1, 2, 3. What's Grid do again? Grid would be nice, but I can't. I think the answer is pretty clear that I should go with Vibe. Because then I'll get 6 cards, and I'll just end my turn.
Yep, and it'll let you put that kick on your top of your deck for a future turn.
Hold on, what was that?
He'll let you put a kick on your top of your deck in a future turn, which is pretty good.
Oh yeah, gotcha. I thought you were saying like that happens when I buy. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's when you play the card. But you got it.
I'm gonna buy Pandora's box.
Oh, that's an interesting. That's interesting because that's one I avoid when I'm playing Solo Crisis. But I could see a use for it here.
Okay, I have actually some interesting options here. So I got 3 power. I can play this for 2 power to get Cosmic Staff. Or I can destroy a vulnerability in my hand. But I think Cosmic Staff is a very good card.
Do you have a scripted option for gaining the bottom card of the main deck?
I don't actually know.
Doesn't look like it. In my notes here, I don't see one in 1 through 9. And that's like the only card that does it.
Yeah. Yeah, there wouldn't be a scripting key. I'm just trying to see if I think it's just because like this is a command here to get the bottom card that way.
Yeah.
Which is a tabletop built-in thing. So maybe I just overlooked it.
You know, this is so interesting because I see a card like Insanity, which is a card I just ignore all the time. But now we're playing a multiplayer game and there's actually some fun uses to it. Okay. All right. Interesting. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm supposed to have 6 cards. I should have 1 more. That didn't help. It's a vulnerability. But I'm only looking at 4 power and 3 vulnerabilities. So a lot of good that 6 power did me. Or 6 cards. So my 4 power, I will get Insanity and I will get Grid as well.
Ooh.
And I'll end my turn.
All right.
Power Girl.
I'm gonna play Pandora's box.
Okay.
So add 4. Does that include?
It includes
Mallet?
that card, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
So there's your 4th one.
And 4. All right, I got 3 power and 1 vulnerability. I'll snag Johnny quick.
Okay.
All right. I got 5 power. And there's a few cards I'm interested in.
Agreed. Yeah, there's nice ones out there.
Happy Harbor is really good for the future. But I think I'm going to get Power Girl just for the short-term gains. So, and when we end this turn, it should just go back here to the lineup. Yep.
Nice. All right, so I'm going to start with Vibe. You may put a hero or superpower with cost 5 or less in my discard pile on top of my deck. So I'll just put, or Insanity. Oh, it's tempting, but I think I will just go ahead and put a kick on top of my deck. And at 1 power, 2, 3, 4, 5 power. That I did really want that Power Girl. I'll go with, it's gotta be Happy Harbor, because if my character's leaning into heroes, getting +1 on future heroes is going to be invaluable.
Yeah, it's a very strong location.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm play Cold Gun.
What are you freezing?
And I will freeze Uh, da, 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 da. I'll freeze Firestorm Matrix. And then I got 4 power. I'll just grab kick. Because I forgot my character is all about superpowers. And I'm forgetting to buy superpowers.
I'm having an issue. Hold on a second. Let me just. Oh no, I saw this. So it looks like I have to draw my cards, and then I can do like the shuffle my discard area. Gotcha.
Yeah, it has to be an empty deck for that to work.
Makes sense.
Don't know what I particularly want from this. I might just get the Element Woman to prevent some shenanigans later on. But Mallet's very powerful too. She's actually really good with all the locations in Forever Evil.
Oh yeah, she gets up to like I think 7 power. Or 5, 4, 6. I think 6 is the max.
Yeah, 6 is the max.
All right, well, I'm going to play Grid, which I don't think I can do anything with right now because I don't have a discard pile. But 1, 2, 3. What? Why do you keep going out there?
You're just flinging cards at us.
I guess so. I'm out of control. All right, 5 power and a vulnerability. That Mallet's a nice way to like send weaknesses and vulnerabilities to other people, and it would jive well with my my Grid here. So I'm going to go with Mallet. And I don't have a destruction card yet, or I'd probably buy Venom Injector. But since I don't have one yet, I'm not going to buy it.
All right, this frozen token here is done.
All right. So if I play this kick and destroy it with Black Adam's ability, I still get the 2 power, right?
Correct.
Yep, because you already played it.
Yeah, then I'm going to do that.
All right.
So I draw a card. And I get a VP token.
Yep.
And I will.
Freezing again. Didn't you just freeze last turn?
Yeah, I did. So that's 2, 5, 6.
Yep, you get to freeze something.
Oh, God, what am I going to freeze? Probably freeze Firestorm because I really want that card.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it's already got one.
You're fine.
All right, so 6 power. I'm going to buy. Buy one of these and one of these.
Get some more superpowers for yourself, huh?
Yeah.
Well, this was a turn I could have bought Firestorm Matrix.
Oh.
But I think Bizarro World is, or Bizarro Power is
Yeah.
probably more fitting for me.
Yeah, that's gonna make some beautiful turns. There's a destruction card available on my turn, which I'm pretty sure is the first time. Can I get 5 power? All right, we'll start with Vibe. You put a hero or superpower of cost 5 or less in my discard pile on top of my deck. Just go ahead and put that kick there. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 powers all I get. So that transmutation is not coming my way. So for that very reason, I'm going to buy myself a cold gun.
Oh, no.
No, this doesn't happen in the future.
Yeah, this lineup's getting very cold now.
Yeah. There we go. Ooh, Man-Bat Serum. Now, is there a quick way to identify how much VP? Like, if I hover over someone's? Yes, it does. Right?
I will play Pandora's Box. 4.
Nice.
And I got that. I got that. I'm going to play Invulnerable and destroy it.
Sure
Okay.
thing.
So that's what, 4 power for you, or no? It's you draw a card. That's right.
Yeah, so maybe 3 with a draw.
And I'll draw another card. Fuck. Vulnerability.
Oh no.
But yeah, still got 3 power. And I'll grab this Man-Bat.
Yeah, your copy of Pandora's Box there is gonna keep this lineup full for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I have 6 power and vulnerability. Transmutation is probably just a go-to card, I believe, in this lineup.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Yeah.
Though Power Ring is good, it just kind of depends on what we end up destroying.
Yeah, I think Power Ring's actually just more interesting, just because it counts as a Power Ring for
Oh yeah, you're right.
Heroes United and such.
You're right. All right, get my cards here, and all right. Well, I've got my Happy Harbor out. Is that this is what this area up here is for, right? This is what we use it for, locations, right?
Yeah, just in the ongoings.
Okay, I thought so. So that's a +1 for each hero I play during my turn. Ooh, wait, actually, no, I won't do that. We're gonna go with 1, 2, 3. I didn't play Insanity, and this vulnerability does nothing. But with my 3, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that Man-Bat for the defense.
Gotcha. I think there's a glitch right now if you stack cards, so just be careful.
Okay, good to know. Good to
Yeah,
know.
I think that's what the error was before. I'll test it out after this.
All right.
You know, it would be nice if you just a potential feature, and you've probably heard this 100 times before, so apologize if I'm just speaking out of turn. It's like if you automatically drew 5 cards after you hit end turn, but I know there's a few characters and stuff that like have interrupts there.
Get that.
It's something
Get one of these.
that was actually implemented at one point. However, it was causing more confusion than it was
Okay.
like helping the game. So it's something I had to get rid of, unfortunately.
Okay. Cool. Oh, all punches, huh?
I was really hoping to get something to like get Power Ring, but did not work out the way I had planned. But I will snag this Element Molding.
Good choice.
I got 2 power at least. I think I'm just gonna play this for power. So it'll be 4. I'll buy Power Drain.
Okay, get some attacks out there.
Broadsword.
All right. I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is I think my highest power turn so far. Firestorm Matrix, huh?
Could have vibe every single turn.
Yeah.
You could buy 2 kicks.
I get Broadsword though too and get my own attack. Ooh. Man, there's some good options out here.
It's tough. We got 3 really good high cost cards.
Yeah. I just lean into the crazy and just get 2 kicks and a Venom Injector. But I think I'm going to go
Hell yeah.
with Firestorm Matrix because I think I'm the first person to be able to afford it, so I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, he's a very fun card.
Yeah. And I love that it's like still an option. Like you play the top card, but it's not automatically an ongoing card. You still get to choose.
All right, so let's see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to play a kick, and I shall destroy it. Get another victory point, and draw a card. And then I shall draw another card. All right, so I got 3 so far, plus 4 with Man-Bat Serum.
Ooh, that's probably your last use of that or you get one more use out of it, I guess, maybe. Depends how much VP you gain.
Yeah. And I'm gonna snag. I'll snag Power Ring.
All right.
Steel. All right. Well, I'm gonna start off with an attack on everybody
Okay.
and gain a weakness myself.
This guy.
What's that attack?
So this is Bizarro power. Each foe gains a weakness.
I'm going to use Insanity to defend. You may
Oh.
discard this card to avoid attack. If you do, you may put a card from your hand or discard pile into the attacker's hand. Well, you can have this vulnerability.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, I got 7,
Wow.
10.
All right, you're in Flash territory.
Yeah, I think I might be getting him. I don't necessarily want Broadsword right now. Still wouldn't be too bad, though. But Flash is very powerful. And I do have a defense coming up, so...
Cool. That's right, I just played my defense and we have a new first appearance attack here. And it reads, each player discards 2 punch cards. For each punch card you fail to discard, gain a weakness. Well, I have exactly 2 punch cards in my hand, so I'm fine with that.
I actually want to gain the weakness, so I'm going to.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Does it say it's a choice? Like, if you have any punch cards, it doesn't say you may. Each player discards 2 punch cards. For each punch you fail to discard, gain a weakness.
I think it's implied that you're supposed to discard punches if you're able to.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I only had 1 punch, so I.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying. I thought you were choosing not to, and gotcha. Well, unfortunately, because of the defense I played and because of the punches I discarded, I can play Cold Gun, and that's pretty much my turn.
To deny somebody.
But I'm gonna keep Steel because I do need a destruction card and it's a hero for next turn. Hopefully.
I'm gonna play Cold Gun.
Oh.
And I'll freeze Broadsword.
Let's see if there's a way to like 10th.
And I'll play Pandora's Box.
Oh,
5.
man, 5 cards. Oh, another. I'm gonna get crushed this game. You guys are getting everything.
That's all I can do, unfortunately.
That's still an interesting turn.
Man, this lineup is
large.
You should see some Crisis games we play. We go way beyond the bounds of what you got here.
All right, so Transmutation destroyed a vulnerability in my hand. I gained a VP for Transmutation, and now I have 2 weaknesses in my discard pile. Gonna go ahead and return those to the stack, then draw a card.
Nice.
Let's see. And there's a lot of cards, but not necessarily things I need at the moment.
I mean, another Bizarro power is not going to hurt you.
Yeah, I don't have enough power for that, unfortunately.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm going to go ahead and destroy a punch with Super Intellect. Get another weakness. I'll have a total of 3 power. And I think I'm going to get Man Bats just to have an extra defense here.
All right, what do I have? Well, first I'm going to play... Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, let's start here. Mallet. Reveal the top card of your deck, draw it, or pass it to another player's discard pile. It's a punch. I'm going to send the punch your way, Bladecom.
Sure thing.
Didn't he just get rid of a punch that's cold?
All right, I'll follow that up with Vibe, which gets +1 on top of it with Happy Harbor. And I can put a hero or superpower with cost 5 or less on top of my deck. And I don't know if I'm going to get attacked. I'll take Kick for the extra power. So I'm at 2 power. 3, I can put a villain or equipment on top of my deck. Let's get that Firestorm coming out. Oh, it's gonna be
I
5 or
believe-
less, so it's gotta be Cold
Yeah.
Gun.
You
All
could do a
right.
villain as well if you wanted to do.
Oh yeah, you know what? I am gonna change that. I totally forgot I had that man bat. I play so much Crisis that I don't normally have like a lot of villains. All right, so I have 3 powers. All I get. I'm gonna buy that steel and get 6 cards next turn, and that'll be that.
All right. I got 4 power. Huh. I'll get another Man Bat Serum.
All right,
Man bat serums are going to do a lot of work for you.
they are, especially with everything you're getting from Black Adam.
It should be at 6 cards, I believe.
Oh, you're totally right. Thank you.
All right, I'll go ahead and start with Bizarro Power. So attack. Each foe gains a weakness.
No.
I will defend with Man Bat.
You will steal my
It may
VP.
discard to steal a VP. Yep.
There it is.
Gotcha. I just put it right in my bag. Ta-da!
All right. I'm going to go ahead and return 2 weaknesses to the stack to draw a card. And let's see. So 4 power, 7 power. 9 power.
Man, you're gonna get another hero.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got an attack here, so I'm just deciding what I want to do. I think I'm going to target Chris here. It's a card I'm afraid of you having, so.
Would you like me to do?
So I'm sorry. That foe reveals his hand, and I choose 1 card. I reveal this way to discard.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay. I think I just want you to get rid of the Johnny. No. Let's get rid of the Element Woman.
Okay.
Discard.
It's discarded.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot nicer than that.
Yeah, that'd be way more expensive.
So I got 9. I could get the villain or the nemesis.
The Nemesis. There you go. Now you're on brand.
Makes all my punches stronger. I got a lot of punches, so I guess I'll go for him.
I did pass one to you, so you do have an extra one.
I think I'm still at the starting because I destroyed one as well.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so
Constantine.
start with Grid here.
We get a first appearance attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
So each player loses 3 VP. If none, gain a weakness. I have none, so I'll be gaining a weakness.
Well, thank you for attacking me so I could defend with Man-Bat last turn, or else I'd be out of luck right now.
I think we actually benefited each other. I
think we did. All right, Chris, you got hit bad by that, didn't you? You're down to 1.
Did.
Oh, well, at least you get to keep your Man-Bat serums a little longer.
I guess. No, they're just worth 1.
All right, I'm gonna play Grid so I can put Man-Bat back on top of my deck. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, I'm so tempted by Bizarro Power, but I'm gonna go. I feel like I need Broadsword in order to get my own attacks out, but I also need Power Girl for 6-card hand next turn and some future powerful turns. So there's a few things going on here.
Yeah, I believe Power grows 4 power for you in extra draw. So I mean, it's not a bad option either.
No, it absolutely isn't. So I think Power Girl is the way to go. And then I'll just end my turn there and get 6 cards.
Right. I'll John it quick. Draw a card. Oh, man, Man-Bat Serum.
It's still good. It won't get destroyed.
And he got rid of the hero I was going to destroy, so I can't use Power Ring.
Yeah, that was another thing in my mind. I knew it when you revealed your hand earlier.
It's all planned.
yeah, of course.
I will buy this. That's all I can do.
Well, that's really good for your character, though.
I guess.
All right. So I'll go ahead and play the flash. So I draw 3, discard 1. Go ahead and discard this weakness.
Well, I see
Got
what's going on there.
2 weaknesses. Turn them to the stack and draw a card. All right. So I have 3 power, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So not quite enough for the villain or the nemesis. And I'm gonna have to get used to that.
I mean, we were wrong when we were saying villain. So, I mean,
So I'll go ahead and buy my second Bizarro power, and I'll also buy Atomica to
yeah,
get some
smart,
extra destructions.
smart. All right, what am I looking at this turn? Well, I'm going to start with Steel and finally destroy something on purpose. You may destroy a non-hero card in your hand or discard pile. I'm going to get rid of a vulnerability. So get out of here. Follow that up with Mambat. Oh, I also got 1 power from Steel due to Happy Harbor, so I am at 3 power. And 4, 5, and 6. Because those punches are really sticking to me today. Dr. Light's an option. It has an attack. No one has locations yet, but it would give me 6 cards on my next turn, and it's a draw, so that's nice. Broadsword would be an attack as well, but I think I'm going to go Dr. Light to get 6 cards next turn and follow that up with a kick, just to spend the rest of my 3 power. And I'll end my turn there.
All right. Pandora's box.
Oh wow! Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the lineup.
Man, you just love Oh, and Pandora?
I know. I really hope he doesn't get 7 power.
And I shall Johnny Quick.
I feel like you play Johnny Quick every turn. What's going on in your deck over there?
I'm gonna play Word of Power, which doesn't do anything, but I am gonna destroy it.
You'll get 1 power, and you can pay 4 less for superheroes this turn.
Well, draw a card, not the 1 power.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then I'm gonna Cold Gun.
Ooh.
I will Cold Gun. I should Cold Gun the Cold Gun.
No one freezes but me. It is a May, so you don't have to freeze anything, but in a 3-player game, it's pretty smart. Yeah, I figured you would.
And I get 2 main bet serums.
Ooh, so 5 power. If you get one more power, you can get Constantine.
I know, but thanks to you, I got a freaking weakness, so that ain't happening.
Oh, man. There's still some good cards out there.
Yeah. Decisions.
It's gonna feel your Black Adam.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Go ahead and start off with the flash. Draw 3.
I really need to play Forever Evil more. I have like no idea what I'm doing.
I use it in the context of crisis games, which is a totally different strategy. So I'm like relearning the focus of cards.
It's one of those sets that like I'm not too fond of, just because like it's essentially you're supposed to like make your deck super small.
Yeah.
And like just have like a lot of power that way, but it's there's a learning curve this version for sure. So I got 0 power so far. I'm gonna play Bizarro power to attack. Each foe gains a weakness.
I will defend with Insanity. You may discard this card to avoid attack. If you do, you may put a card from your hand to the discard pile of the attacker. Oh, sorry. Hand or discard pile into the attacker's hand. You can have another one of my vulnerabilities.
Gotcha. Let's go ahead and return these 2 to the stack and draw. So 4 power, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have enough for Constantine.
Again, you're crushing it.
Yeah. And I'll destroy this vulnerability you gave me.
Makes sense.
So, is there anything in the board that I really want? Not necessarily. So, Constantine is probably just my go-to.
That makes sense.
But there's like 4 heroes in the lineup for you.
I know, but I'm going to get attacked now, and I spent my defense card on you. All right, Cyborg. First appearance attack. Each player discards a superpower and an equipment. If you
Oh,
discard no cards, gain a weakness. Well, I
my
will
God.
discard one card.
I
But
will
not-
discard a superpower and an equipment.
I lost a
I don't
cold
have
gun.
either.
Oh, this is pretty. Okay, I've got a nice little combo here, and I cannot wait to do it. So let's do it. Oh, wait, no, I can't do that. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I just won't play that card. Okay. Vibe's going to come out. He's going to get 2 power. I can put a hero or superpower on top of my deck. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I want to do something else. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put Dr. Light on top of my deck. I'm going to follow that up with Firestorm so that I play Dr. Light every turn. He's got the ongoing ability now. So I got to shuffle my area because I now need to draw a card. And its attack, I need to choose a foe to discard a location they control, but I don't think any of you control locations yet.
Right.
Nope.
I do get 1 power from him, so I'm at 3 power total. Follow up with Mallet, reveal a top card of my deck, draw it, or pass it to another player's discard pile. I will draw this. So I'm at, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That Power Girl is tempting, but so is Amanda Waller in order for me to destroy some stuff that I haven't been able to destroy.
Yep. And she'll always be at minimum 1 power as well, which is nice for you.
Yeah, I think Amanda Waller is the way to go. And I have 2 power left, which I'm going to use to get another cold gun. Because I keep seeing cards I really want disappear before my turn comes up. So I bought 1 hero, so I do get 6 cards. Oh,
Yep.
wait. Oh, yeah, okay. I have to make Dr. Light ongoing. You're right. And I have to get rid of that.
Yeah. I believe he destroys Dr. Light at the end of the game.
I will power ring
Yes.
Pandora.
So powering is worth 1 power right now.
And I'm gonna buy Royal Flush Gang. But yeah, I had to get rid of that Pandora. I know one of you was gonna get it.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and play Super Intellect to destroy a punch, gain a weakness, and I'll return these to the stack to draw a card.
Nice.
I will play Green Arrow, and now I have 6 total
Ooh,
power.
wow. That's beautiful.
I don't really know what I want from this lineup. I think just Power Girl. It's probably like the best option.
All right. I will start with Dr. Light to draw a card. Did I draw 2 on accident? I did. I'm sorry about that. I don't get the 1 power from that though, because I didn't play it this turn. It's just an ongoing card, right?
I believe you do get the 1 power.
Okay, so it's just any cards in play, cards I control, which they kind of developed with Teen Titans, I think.
Yeah, because Firestorm lets you
play
the card.
it each turn. You're totally right. Yeah. So it is 1 power and draw a card every turn. So that's 1. We'll go to 2 and destroy a card. I'll go ahead and destroy a punch. 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't get anything from Insanity, so I'm just not going to play it. 12, I'm going to get my first. I'm going to get Cyborg, and I'm also going to get Commissioner Gordon.
Very nice.
So I'll get 7 cards on my next turn.
Each player destroys an equipment in this hand or discard pile if you cannot gain a weakness.
Oh, goodbye, Cold Gun.
I'll
You
defend
served me
Commissioner
well.
Gordon and discard this card to avoid attack. If I do, gain a VP.
So I believe I have to destroy Element Woman because
Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah, she is considered an equipment. And I gain a weakness because I destroy a card.
And let's see. I'll play Element Woman and destroy her. She counts as a superpower. So it's 2, 5. And I'm gonna get I should buy superpowers, but I'm gonna get Secret Society because I really need to start destroying shit in my deck. Alright.
Ooh. That's a scary attack card. Let us start off with Bizarro Power. Attack. Each foe gains a weakness.
Oh, I guess I got to get one. What's that? It's 7.
Yep. I'll go ahead and return my 2 to draw a card.
I think I have like 5 weaknesses now.
Oh, wow.
It's not looking good for me.
It's so funny because there's so much destruction within Forever Evil that it really does hurt when you have all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Power Drain. I'm going to go ahead and target you, Corey.
All right, I forgot what I have to do for that one.
Reveal your hand, and I get to discard one of those cards revealed.
Okay. There you go.
That's a lot of cold guns.
I was hoping to really freeze up the lineup next turn.
Yeah, I think I'll actually get rid of the kick.
Okay, well then that's still the plan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that gameplay. 6, 9, 11, 13, 15.
What?
I would get Ultraman, dude. I destroyed a lot of superpowers.
Yeah, but he can get Batman.
I can also get Ultraman and Constructs of Fear, which is
that's.
How many more bosses are there?
I think it only goes to like 12, so I think there's only like 2 or 3 left.
I kind of like. I know you're gonna like freeze the lineup, so I think I'm okay with going this route.
All right. Okay, Green Lantern. Each player destroys a hero in his hand or discard pile. If you cannot, gain a weakness. Oh, I don't want to destroy a hero. I just lost commission. Did you just lose Pandora?
No, I destroyed Pandora.
Oh, okay. You're right. You did.
I just lost the Power Girl.
Oh, man.
There's my 6th weakness. There we go.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with Dr. Light with 1 power and draw a card. And I can make you guys discard locations, but there's none out there. All right. 2 power. I can put a hero or superpower on top of my deck. We'll go ahead and put that kick on top of my deck. So we're at 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get to 7. I want to get Constructs of Fear. Do I want to get Catwoman and maybe some other stuff? Because I have to decide what I'm going to freeze is basically what's happening. Yeah, I'm going to have Constructs of Fear. So I'm at 5. I'm going to go 6 and 7 on the cold guns here, and I'm going to freeze Ultraman and Broadsword and buy Constructs of Fear.
Good choice. Completely forgot you had what's his face? Dr. Light.
Yeah.
I shall.
I pretty much own the locations the rest of the game.
Buy this. And that's it. That's it. It's a rough one for me.
All right. Well, Unfortunately, it might get slightly rougher. Another bizarre.
No.
I got 2 of them. It's just gonna keep.
All right, I'm gonna defend with Man-Bat. I get one of your VP.
I don't know where I got this VP from.
I know where I got mine.
I'll go ahead and discard those 2 at the draw. So 4 power, 6 power. Oh, that's where you got it from, Transmutation.
That makes sense. Yeah, destroy vulnerability, get a punch, especially with your green arrow.
Yep. So I got 6 power. I guess I'll get Catwoman and a kick.
I'm actually really surprised Venom Injector's still out there. It's not a super valuable card or anything like that, but it's just like with all the destruction in this deck. Okay. Power armor, cool. My frozen tokens are gone. Can I get high enough for power armor? Let's see. Or I'm gonna... I could play Insanity. Has a card in my hand to the player on my left. Chris, do I want to pass anything to you?
You really want to kick a horse while it's down?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be that guy?
I'll start with Dr. Light. Okay. There's no locations out there. I'm gonna instead use Amanda Waller to destroy the punch. Or actually, maybe I don't. Maybe I hold on to that a second. So I'm at... Don't play Amanda Waller yet. We were at 1 power because of Dr. Light, but we followed up with 4 power from Power Woman, Power Girl, getting us to 5. 6, 7. I'm not gonna get anything from Insanity at this point.
I think you're guaranteed 8.
Yeah, so I can at least get power armor, but I think if I destroy the right card, I could get Green Lantern. I have to destroy something with cost 4, and it has to be a villain. I don't know. Oh, I don't have a 4-cost villain, so if that's the case, I'll play Amanda Waller, destroy the punch.
You can destroy from your discard pile, so if you want to get rid of the weakness instead, you're able to.
That's true, but I wouldn't get the... Oh, but I'd still get the... I see what you're saying. So I would still get the +1 from Happy Harbor, but the weakness would be gone. Smart.
Right. Yeah, and you get an extra power from the punch, which is great.
Agreed. So 9 power. I still think power armor is the way to go, but there is a temptation within me to go like broadsword plus grid plus venom injector. I'm gonna go with power armor though, because there's a lot of attacks flying around now, and I need to be prepared.
So, some a one-trick pony. Pandora's box.
That's a good trick though.
Ah, man.
Steve Trevor, I like that one.
And I got a punch and Man-Bat Serum. That's good old 4 power.
Surprised we haven't seen many more Royal Flush gains.
Yeah, usually, I mean, there's like 4 or 5 in the set.
I mean, what am I gonna do? I'll buy I'll buy this.
All right. So we got 3 power, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which I believe is just enough.
It is. That's all you need. Earth 3 is not going to do anything for you, really. It's only going to hurt you.
Yeah, Ultraman's like the only consideration I really have, just because like he's 3 VP and like a lot of power right now.
Especially with everything he's destroying down there as Black Adam, yeah.
Shazam.
There he is. All right, each player puts a card of cost 5 or greater from his hand or discard pile on the bottom of the main deck. If you cannot, gain a weakness. Well, card of cost 5 or greater, huh?
So I'm going to be defending with Cosmic Staff, and I'm just going to get the bottom of the main deck.
Oh, you don't want to wait for someone else to put something down there?
Nope. Insanity is what I got.
I'm sorry, did we get to choose? What is it? It's each player puts a card with cost 5 or greater from his hand. I don't want to lose this card. All right.
Oh, I see. He puts on the bottom. Oh.
Yeah, you could like if we put something there and you did yours after. I'm gonna put Power Girl down there.
It's fine. I'll live with the choices I made.
I don't know what the order of operations there is. It's kind of like everyone at the same time. So how do you choose that? I don't know.
I'd have to look at I haven't played with crypto rules in a while.
Well, boys, there's only one card in my hand that costs more than.
Well, you can use your discard pile as well. Do you have anything over there?
Nope.
All right, I'm
Buy
sorry.
Power Ring.
I know. I just lost. I mean, for me, Power Girl's worth 4 power, which is a lot. All right. I'll start with Mallet. Reveal the top card of your deck. Draw it or pass it to another player's discard pile. I will draw Steel. I'm going to follow that up with Dr. Light. So I'm at 1 power because of Dr. Light. We can destroy a card. I'm going to destroy this Punch. Give me to 2 power. Oh, I should have played Grid earlier. Oh well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then oh my god.
Ooh.
Cyborg gets to 8 and is +2 for each superpower and equipment I played, so that's 9, 10, 11, 12 power. That's enough for Shazam. So I think I'm going to go ahead and purchase him, which will get me to 6 cards on the next turn.
Superman. Each player destroys a superpower in his hand or discard pile. If you cannot, gain 2 weakness cards.
I'm going to defend of Insanity. Put a card from your hand or discard pile into the attack. What's the attacker's hand when you defend against the first appearance attack?
I always ruled it as you would just remove the card from play.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get rid of a Punch.
Destroyed Word of Power. So if I can work some luck and somehow get 9 power, I can destroy.
I'm going to go ahead and destroy a Bizarro power, and I will gain a weakness for doing so.
Oh, that makes sense because it's got that -1. We're about at the end.
I shall kick and destroy it for a VP and draw a card. Watch be a weakness. It's not. I shall Johnny Quick. There's the weakness. So it's 2, 4, 6. I could not get to 9, unfortunately. But buy Broadsword. Because why not?
Yeah, you need it. All right, Bladecom, what you got?
We're going to start off with Super Intellect to destroy a Punch. Gain a weakness. Oop. Going to go ahead and return these to the draw. We might have something now. Just drew into the Flash. So draw 3. Discard 1.
Must have something good. Those punches are valuable to you with those green arrows. With that green arrow.
I got a lot I can do right now. So let's go ahead and play John Constantine. So reveal the top 3. So I got a shuffle here. Let's see, so I draw 1, put 1 on top, and destroy the other. So I'll go ahead and draw Power Drain, put Insanity on top, and I'll destroy this Punch. Gain another weakness. I'm still at 0 power.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play Bizarro power.
Just gonna draw your whole deck this turn.
So that'll put me at 4. I don't actually think I'm doing much with this turn, even though maybe. I gotta see how much power I got at the end. So attack
8
just
weaknesses.
gain a
Already.
foe.
Bizarro's power isn't 1 per turn, is it?
It is not.
Okay.
Yep. So just attack, gain a weakness.
Yep, on it.
And I'll go ahead and return these 2 that draw that Insanity. So 4 power. 6, 8. No, okay. I just have enough. 11. I'm just going to play this for power. 13. I guess I'll target you, Corey.
What's the attack?
Just reveal your hand. I discard a card from it.
Okay. Well, it's very similar to last time.
Just get rid of vibe, I guess.
That makes sense.
And I'll just go ahead and purchase Superman, and that should be the last.
That's the last one.
News.
All right, I believe it is time for us to tally things up.
Oh God, I don't want to.
I am sorry this game became what it became, but
it happens.
I do have advice for people to share after we tally up.
Put mine. So we put our deck up here.
Yep. Don't forget your location.
Oh, yep. I have to get rid of Dr. Light though. And does it tally up our VP bags also, or do we have to bring those up there?
It does tally out the VP bags where they are, so we can just do the check score, and it should just go ahead and calculate for us.
Let's do it. Wow. Wow, well done. Chris, what happened?
I don't know, man. I do have like 8 or something weaknesses.
Oh man, well done, Bladecom. You had a nice early start in those superheroes and those nemesis, and it really helped you. And you had some great cards going for you. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. I tried to catch up. I got a few of my own superheroes, but I didn't get any destruction early in the game, so I was like trying to catch up to all of you with your lack of punches and vulnerabilities.
Yeah, Bizarro is a very, very interesting character just because, like, what would necessarily be, what would normally just be, you know, a dead card just suddenly becomes very powerful for you.
That's so cool. I really like that Bizarro mechanic. I like the Bizarro card they revealed that's coming. I believe it's going to be in the multiverse box. I don't know. They revealed the Bizarro card. I don't remember exactly where it is, but he's in the Kickstarter somewhere right now.
Oh, I don't think I've seen him recently.
Yeah, he was an early one. He was way back, like in the first couple updates, but I'll go back and look for him.
Gotcha.
Advice to people, because I learned from my mistakes. a couple of things that I'm learning about Forever Evil.
Yeah.
Mr. Bear and I have always talked about how important it is to sometimes get cards that can like destroy stuff, be it like in your hand or your deck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Forever Evil, it seems like it's like 10 times more important to be able to either draw cards or destroy stuff in like your deck and whatnot. So I feel like a big mistake of mine was focusing on getting superpowers to synergize my hero and not focusing enough on deck building. Definitely needed Ultraman.
Yeah, that would have
been perfect.
That would have turned your game around, I think.
I think you
losing Homeboy Power Ring was a big kick to the gut. But yeah, I like Forever Evil. It's really cool. I would say that this is maybe not the hardest set that I've played, because then again, this is the first time I played with 3 people. But I think that there's definitely a learning curve with this set that's a little bit steeper than the other sets.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Forever Evil has a lot of very unique strategies that aren't really included in the other base sets. So it's a very different beast, but it's a really fun one. I mean, the next game that you and I will play in our little series that we're working on is going to be the Rogues. And that's personally one of my favorite crossover packs, and it's going to enhance Forever Evil in a totally different way that I think you're really going to like.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say Forever Evil is... I really don't care much for it as a base set, but combined with other sets, it's probably one of my favorites just because of like what it enables.
Absolutely. Well, I do want to thank you guys for playing. Bladecom, thank you for showing us around your mod here. This has been a huge help, and it's going to be even better for the future videos that Chris and I do and future games that we play. So thank you everyone for watching. This has been our little 3-part video here. We talked about the Kickstarter earlier. We got Bladecom's tour here, and we got our own little game of Forever Evil out of the way as well. I've been joined, of course, by Chris from Underleveled. How you doing?
I lost really bad.
That's okay. It
I'm gonna go
happens.
cry now, guy. I'm gonna go
All
cry now.
right, all right. Let me just zoom in on that number real quick just to see how bad. Yeah, that is pretty bad. So I'm gonna zoom out again. Bladecom, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your tour. Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh yeah, and thank you for having me. I love just the DC deck building games, and I love talking about it. And just it's a new experience. Finding your community, and I really hope we can do something with the Crisis Solo League on here at some point.
I mean, I'm definitely ready and willing to work with you whenever you want. So we'll figure that out. So thank you, Bladecom. Thank you very much. And check out Bladecom's Patreon. There's going to be a link below. There'll be a link to my Patreon as well, where you support these videos, the Solo Crisis League, Solo Champions League, and other things like that. So thank you for watching, everyone, and you have a good night.